Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mbolism's Coffee Morning. Now, what we're going to do today is give a look at Robert Garcia's combo trials and see what we can do just to kind of expand a few things. Now, there are some other videos that I've got on YouTube. My current maximum hit combo with Robert Garcia is currently 63. There are a few other guys that I know can get up to 64, but I'm not even going to try and shoot for that anymore. So this is mostly about just seeing what we have here and what can be added on to it. And there we go. I kind of like Robert Garcia. I always think it looks slightly cooler in the red colours, but well, let's have a look at this here. Let's see what we can do. So this is the basics here. So that's high punch followed by fireball. Complete. There we go. Now let's add in a command move into the middle of all this, so we can go with. I'll bring up the key data again, and there we are. So that's just going to be punch and then forward low kick. That one spin a gauge. Didn't mean to do that one at the time, but so that's just a little extra move in there. Now we're gonna change it around. So this is just your this is your bread and butter stuff. Just going like this. Now what I'm going to do to change this around a little bit, we need to try and spin some gauges. So we can do high punch followed by going into max mode and doing the same thing again before we throw the fireball. So and that's brought up to 5 hits there. Now once you've gone into max mode, it seems a bit of a shame not to then try and use your X fireball as well. So okay, maybe not quite your super fireball. Anybody that looks at that, what I've actually done there is I pressed forward and immediately followed it with a semicircle from back to front, and fired it from there. But that's just a mistake in that regard. So let's bring ourselves back around here and okay, and a dragon punch will give us 6 hits as well. Yeah, we can all see what I'm doing there. And yeah, again, you guys might find these videos useful. You might be sitting there laughing your ass off at the new guy just being so pathetic, but either way, I don't care. If you're enjoying it and you take something useful away from it, you know, even if it's just a big smile on your face for the rest of the day, then I'm happy with that. Okay, stop that. Well, that's one way of going. And let's try the other way. Let's go with the dragon punch on that one. And now guy's up to 7. So if we do it right, 9 hits. Worth going at it from there. Now this is something that they don't actually promote in the trials mode here. The other thing that we can do from here, instead of just doing punch and then command kick, we can do high kick command kick, which is this one. So it'll be 2 hits. So let's bring that up again. So it's that'll give us 4 hits from there. Now let's bring in the X mode. Seven hits. Eight hits with the next fireball. Okay, let's see if we can throw in the dragon punch now. There we are. 11 hits. Straightforward. Dead easy. Okay, let's clean this one up for now. And move on to the next point. Okay, so what we're trying to do here is high punch followed by fireball, and then you can immediately follow up. If you've done the fireball motion and that's connected, you can then just do the half circle from front to back followed by a punch move, and that'll lead you into the super. Although apparently not fast enough in that regard. There we are, so that's a nice little 18 hitter there. Now I'm not going to try and jump straight into spending gauges on this one so far, but let's see what else, what other moves can we actually get in the middle of all this. So if we actually just use a Dragon Punch. So if we do the high punch command kick again. Nice little 19 hitter. So what happens if we replace the high punch with a high kick on this one again? Okay, so I think the high punch is definitely one of those things where I think it's got a lot less startup, but if you land it, then the high kick is definitely the way to go in terms of giving yourself a bit more space. So we have now one of the pitfalls in terms of putting this input in, I'm sure you can tell from there, is just what I'm aiming for is the fireball, but I'm pressing the punch too soon and going into a Dragon Punch. In this particular combo, it doesn't look like it's going to matter that much. But let's change things around a little bit now. Let's go ahead and try and throw in some extra gauges. Let's see what we can do just by going into max mode again. And so okay, that one definitely got away from me there. That was not what I intended to do. But as you can see, getting up to 42 hits with Robert is quite easy to do if you can get into it a little bit. Okay, so I got the X fireball in that time at least. Now this is going to end up spending 2 gauges ultimately if you go into max mode and then try this combo. So we have and it will never be just the basic equivalent of that. what will happen is you'll start and then you'll finish with this particular move. So yeah, I pretty much throw that command kick into everything that I've got here. Not least because when you land with that command kick, you can then follow up with pretty much any of these tatsus that you care to throw out there. So this command kick is your bread and butter of pretty much any given time. So let's I've done it again. Okay. Forget my floundering here, guys. I don't quite know what's going on today, but I'll wrap this one up for now and move on to the next trial, because there's a lot of different things I can extemporize. I'll have a visual aid to go with. Not that. There we are, completely like that noise. And only now do we get to the what I've been doing a minute ago. So there we have max mode. So that's yep, high punch followed by command kick and then X tatsu. Yeah. God, that move gets me almost every time. Forward, back, forward. The trick is always just trying to kind of make sure you take as much time with it as you can. Okay, so from here, if I just go ahead and just do the high kicks, if I just kind of add in things that I've already done from here. And that's an extra 4 hits in there for no extra cost. So all I've done is instead of using the high punch, I've used the high kick. So but again, if you're fast enough, then you can absolutely use the high punch if that's what you prefer. And it gets you a nice round number of 30 hits right there. Now, there's something that I've only really kind of just come to appreciate this in the last week, so that's why it hasn't appeared in the last few episodes in any case. But you know, it's all very well saying that we can use the command kicks. I mean, there we have. This is the distance. We can do that from here. In order to get this command kick to actually land, I have to be right in, you know, and just assuming that someone's not going to be blocking or doing anything else or trying to attack me in order to actually get these hits to land. So the only other thing I found is a particularly useful poke is using your blowback move and immediately following up by going into max mode. So what we're going to do just now is this. So as soon as this hit connects, we close the gap by going into max mode, and that happens from pretty much anywhere on screen. But if I go ahead and fire it, now what I can't do from here, if I use the blowback attack and then go into max mode, I can't then hit with a normal one because that creates like an aerial recovery. I'll show you exactly what I mean here. One hit, he's up and he's back on his feet. So I need to use something that's going to hit him enough times to keep him in the air and start getting the juggle going. So if I just use the second half of this one, so I'm going to use the X Tatsu immediately followed by the illusion kicks there. Or rather, I'm going to, as soon as I get my fingers working again. And there we have it, that's just 27 hits, the 3 away, but it's also quite a safe poke. And that gets it from there, so that's something just to experiment with. And again, you guys might be laughing your ass off at this point. It took me this long to figure that out. You guys might be thinking that could have been, you know, first thing Monday morning as far as you guys were concerned when you picked up your copy of KOF. But for me, that was something that just I thought could come in particularly handy. But for now, what else can we put in here? We might need to try a few things in corners, but let's give it a go. Okay, so it looks like I can throw an X fireball in the middle of all that if I get my timing right. I could be wrong, but let's find out. Yeah, and what I'm doing there is I'm supposed to be doing forward, back, forward, and immediately followed by the 2 punches. However, the inputs are slightly screwy because if I'm doing that too fast, then I end up doing this, which is forward to back, which then grants you this move. But let's try again, let's see what we can do. Okay, I think that's still doable, I just think I wasn't quite fast enough on that one. So let's give it a go. There we go. 34 hits, so yeah, in the middle of all that you can go ahead and just throw yourself an X fireball in there. So even if you're at this point, you just want to go high punch, low kick, and then... And it does help if you get somebody in the corner to do it with. There we go, 2 extra hits and a big old chunk of damage out of that. Okay, there we go. So this is, yeah, Gauge-a-Palooza here. I'm going to use, that's going to come up as, yep, 2 sets of gauges. So actually, it might come up as a spend of 3. If anybody's having a trouble with the timing at that point, what I tend to do is as soon as Robert actually fixes his collar and goes ahead and winds himself up for the Dragon Punch, that's a good time to go ahead and put the inputs in for the fireball move. So now okay, so let's just let's keep this one simple. Let's just put a command kick in there as well. And okay, maybe not quite that simple. Okay, I'm going to call a stop to that one just now. Now, this one in particular is going to be a little bit difficult because I can't actually spend any more max gauges. So what you're relying on at this point is you can use the fireball or you can use the dragon punch. But I think just what you want to do is you can either just follow up with command kicks or just punch command kick. You can then do a dragon punch straight into the combo there, and then finish the whole thing up with a fireball. So that's really kind of up to yourself there of which one you want to use. And now, if I do use the gauge at this point, then there's a whole lot of things I can do in here, which I'm actually not going to do just now because the next combo pretty much feeds into all of this again. So let's just finish this one up for now. All done. And there we are. Now this is combo number 5, and this spends this only spends 3 gauges. Oh no, I tell a lie, it spends 4. So let's do high punch, low kick. So you can see it's the thing I've been doing accidentally. This one played right into my wheelhouse. But and for some reason that is showing up as not enough hits. So let's that would be why it's not high punch, it's high kick. So oh yeah, I've been doing it accidentally the whole time and now I'm not actually knowing how to pull it out when it's actually asking it of me, so that's fun. Yeah, right. Nice 24 hitter. Okay, so there, that's the maximum amount of hits that I actually asked you to do in the 5 trials is 24 hits. Now, I think we can see that there's actually a whole lot more scope for things that can be done in terms of working with rubber here. I'm going to just give you a quick example. So that we've got the high kick, low kick. I'll immediately follow it up with going into max mode. And now, if at that point I then launch into the climax move, it won't actually hit. The fireball when it goes into max mode like that pushes me too far away for this move to hit because it's actually a straight up anti-air. That's all the distance it covers. So I need to be really close for it to happen. So there we are. And that's 20 hits all on its own. But let's put a few of the other bits and pieces together that we know of. So we know that when we do this, we can then go straight into a Tatsu. If we use the X Tatsu, we know that we can also fit in an X Fireball. Now, instead of using the Super Fireball, what if instead we used the Climax combo move here? Which is like a super duper Mirage kick option right there. 31 hits. Now, what if I follow that up? Okay, so that's 16 hits, then added on another 20 becomes 36. So let's see what we can do here now. So let's go ahead and do the high kick, low kick, or high kick, command kick, and then into max mode. Okay, so that was 32 hits. Add that on, it'll become 52. And that's all nice and straightforward. Now, the real trick as far as that last part goes is timing, because you can get it right up until the 30th hit in that combo. So there we are. Not what I meant to do there. I'll excuse the max version. So you can get it right up until the 29th hit. If it goes into the 30th, it launches them way too high and you won't be able to get the last move there. Now, the thing to keep an eye on is when your legs are going, they go up and away. So up, up, up. You want to try and time it for the third wave. And then we're going to add all of that together. So we have... yeah, as far as me doing uppercuts is concerned, all it does is just resets the combo for me. So I'm just going to stick purely with the X fireball and then land straight into the super. Okay, so that comes up as 44 hits. So what I want to try and get is on the 42nd hit. Pull out the climax. There we are, 42. There we are, 62 hits. And that is a pretty big wealth of damage when it hits there as well. And then the only other thing I've been able to do as far as this is concerned is just to actually land with a jumping attack. As you can see, that one's definitely got some work to be done. And even if you whiff it, you got 45 hits, a pretty decent level of damage. So let's go back over some of the things that we did there and just do a quick damage comparison for some of the extras that we're going to throw in.
Stage select.
Okay, so that's 131 damage. Let's throw the command kick in there as well. Pretty decent. Now let's try the high kick followed by command kick. Only marginally more, but it's certainly there. Let's try a few other things. Let's try the blowback attack followed by the dash into Tatsu. And not too shabby. But let's try the versus the command kick here. Okay, so if you're already into max mode, you know that you can do it. There, so it's 300 and... oh, magic number 333. And all of that just from one gauge being spent in that time. Yeah. Now, I don't know that many people that actually open with Robert. I think he tends to be a second or third character. And although if you do open with Robert, then I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to see what your tactics are in terms of using, like, economising on gauges. But let's see what the most amount of damage we can do here. Let's try that again. Missed on that one. Okay, so there we have it without the climax move. That's 455. That's a fairly sizable chunk of damage right there, and that's 2 gauges being spent. Now let's up the whole thing. I whiffed that first one there, so let's go back to that. Okay, so that comes up. Yep, 688 damage for that full thing. If you want to blow all 5 gauges at that point, then it's I think it's a pretty good deal myself. However, let's try that again. There you go, 455 is an extra 300 damage, and that high in air combo, I would definitely take that. Even with the diminished returns, that's going to be pretty hefty. Okay, there we are. Now, I'm not going to finish this one, but I am going to just show one last point now, which is have a look at the gauge, because I'm throwing that X fireball in just before the combo, which means I'm at the very, very last gasp of using my max gauge, because I only get half of it. So watch closely at the max gauge when I'm doing this next move. I mean, I'm getting like every single last gasp of that gauge out of that. There is very little else that I can do at that stage. However, let's see if I can actually get one last mirage kick out of it before the whole thing runs down. So. There you are. 34 hits, 381 damage, 1 gauge used. So there we go. In conclusion, I think Robert Garcia, well, it could probably be well up for nerfing, I think, in the next little while, unless people, well, they could not nerf him, they could just buff everybody else, I suppose, but let's see what happens. But for now, I'm going to call this, well, Mbolism's Coffee Morning. If you guys have enjoyed it, then please do leave us a comment here. And if anybody has any other requests, because at this point I have covered Luong, I've covered King, and I've covered Robert Garcia. These are the 3 characters that I play with right now. I am going to continue with other episodes. I'm going to create different ones. So if anyone wants to leave a comment behind on the section there, and just say which character you'd like to see next, and go from there. I think next week is going to be Kula Diamond, and that's a little shout out to one of my friends, KOF-y, who is even more of a newbie to this game than I am, and right now the main character that he's interested in is Kula, so I thought I'm going to try and combo lab and see if I've got anything in my own bag of tricks that could maybe help him out. But for now, guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I shall see you next week. Bye.